$1 million, what would be the first business you would establish?
Well, I wouldn't establish a business. The first thing that I would do would be fund a community development corporation, and we would acquire a property and renovate that property, sell it at cost, and then take that money and invest it in another property. And having done a few properties with some rate of success, we would then expand. And we'd use that $1 million as the seed money for that.
Well, that's property, that's real estate.
That's real
Let's
estate.
focus on business, food industry, hotel, whatever. Is there a business that you think will help flourish the community?
Well, all these things, restaurants, coffee shops, all have an impact to make in the city of East Cleveland, but also we need a viable grocery store in the city of East Cleveland. Now, even that though, I would welcome a for-profit entity, but I'm perfectly fine with the idea of a grocery store co-op in the city of East Cleveland, something that could be owned and controlled by the residents of East Cleveland, and also that doesn't have the same profit, pressure as another grocery store would. There's nothing that says that these needs have to be met in a profit-driven manner, and I think that if we can sidestep that, we may have benefits, both social benefits for the community, as well as, very tangible price benefits. If all we have to do is effectively not lose money as opposed to generate enough profits to make shareholders happy or for expansion, we don't have to do that if we have a nonprofit entity involved.
Does East Cleveland have a grocery store?
There are grocery stores in East Cleveland. I don't buy groceries in East Cleveland, except that I'll buy some groceries from Family Dollar. The only store that I buy groceries from in East Cleveland is like Family Dollar. I'll buy bread or milk from those stores because I try to buy everything that I can buy within the city of East Cleveland. I have been to the grocery store that exists in East Cleveland, Coney's, and it's not a place that I would buy my groceries from, no. So we don't have a grocery store that I would recommend, and I don't think that store is impossible. It could be brought up to a higher level, and it could be brought up to a level that I would be willing to tell someone, hey, let's go buy some food from Coney's, but I've never felt comfortable recommending that location. And that's another thing that we have to change in East Cleveland. You don't want to have that be the first impression. Here I am, a resident of East Cleveland, living down the street from what is supposed to be a grocery store, and an advocate for East Cleveland, so much so that I buy even the groceries that I can buy from the dollar store as opposed to buying them from a grocery store, just so that I can support local business. But I can't support that grocery store.
So East Cleveland, you would agree, has a food desert within its 3-mile radius?
East Cleveland is a food desert with respect to healthy eating options. We're right across the street from Rally's and some other places here. We have a Rally's here, a Subway, we have a Vienna corned beef,
Taco Bell,
Happy's McDonald's, Happy's Pizza. So there are definitely some food options. But when I have someone who comes to visit me that, let's say, is a vegetarian or a vegan, and they want to just get decent quality food to prepare in their home, or to eat out decent quality food, there's nowhere that I can point them to in East Cleveland. Right now, we also don't even have a coffee shop. Now, Joe Little is working on that. Peter Pan's Donuts closed, but Joe Little, who was born and raised in East Cleveland, has come back to the city of East Cleveland. He's a great addition to the community, and he's opening up a coffee shop off of Euclid, right by Euclid and Taylor, and right across from Shaw High School. And that will be a great addition, because right now the closest thing to a coffee shop we have in East Cleveland is McCafe. We have our seniors, they meet at McDonald's and sit in McDonald's and drink coffee.
Peter Pan's was great.
Yeah, Peter Pan's was great. Peter Pan's was closed before I lived in East Cleveland, but it was great. I had Peter Pan. I consumed Peter Pan donuts and coffee, and it was good. But it's closed, unfortunately. And that's another tragedy, that whatever the issue was that was occurring within Peter Pan, we lost a very significant business that met a need, a community need. And since that community need was You know, since the closure of Peter Pan, no other entity has stepped in to fill that need, to fill that void, and that need still exists. And not only with Peter Pan Donuts, but you remember where we had the recall office on Euclid and Lee. There were no businesses operating in those storefronts. No, nothing, not even not businesses. None of those storefronts were occupied. And then we were able to occupy one for the recall. You know, and the tragedy sometimes about East Cleveland is that though we have these issues of reputation, and it costs more sometimes to do business in East Cleveland than it does to do business elsewhere. This is a significant problem. So the storefront where we had, for instance, the storefront that we use for the recall office, I offered to continue to pay the same rent for that storefront, and I planned on using it to have, it would be technically a bookstore, but I wouldn't be trying to make any money off of it. It would be more a community meeting place, a place where people could have study sessions, where we could have conversations about what's going on in the community, where we could watch films, that kind of thing. And I was told the rent would be $650 a month. $650 a month. Now you were in that office. That's more than double what we paid during the recall election. And we would have had to put thousands of dollars into that space to make it usable. You know, but $650 a month. And this office that I'm using now, I'm paying, I'm not going to state the dollar amount, but less.
Okay.